Hey guys, just want to go give you a rundown of a list that I played for APOC List game at the GW store. It was a pretty fun game. A lot of stuff was going on. So basically this is the cheese that I brought because the last couple games were pretty competitive. So I thought, I guess it was, I felt it was my responsibility to bring in some cheese as well. So the cheese is here. Raiders with 5 Trueborn, 1 upgrade. Upgrade has Splinter Pistol, Close Combat Weapon, and a Haywire Grenade. So in all that produces for the game 11 Dark Lances, 44 Blasters, 11 Haywire Grenades. So yeah, and the cheese part was the fact that the vehicles can jink and the 4 blasters inside can still shoot. It's not the cheese that I normally play on my Sunday casual game, but like I said, the last couple of games that were played for the APOC List game was pretty competitive. So I decided to say, yeah, you know, rules say that the occupants inside don't snap shoot, so because of the jink, so I'm going to be shooting at normal ballistic skill. And because of the multiple AP1 and AP2 weaponry, there weren't any other cases in which made the unit perform snap shooting because the vehicle got hit, because there was only one immobilization, which I did make a snap shooting test for and I passed. Otherwise, if any other vehicles, if they got hit, they were pretty much exploded or suffered a glancing hit. So yeah, so that was the cheese, was the vehicle jinking and having full ballistic skill shooting back at the opponent. They weren't really that effective against the vehicles, just because there were so many intervening models and some spells were giving vehicles a 4-up cover save. So there were a lot of possible saves for the vehicles, and they were making them. What really worked better, what these units worked better against was the wounder models. So like biker units and just regular tactical troop units on the table. Turn 2, there was a lot of tactical troops that were made available that had line of sight too, so I was shooting them up pretty easily with the AP2 weaponry. I was trying to force them to go to ground, but most of them just took the damage as it came at them. So that worked pretty good against tacticals, and it worked against the bikers just because of the strength 8 versus the toughness 5. It just allowed me to wound the model more efficiently, and you know, if the biker failed its jinx save, well then of course they would be removed from play. So yeah, that worked out pretty good. I am happy to say that one of the splinter pistols managed to cause a wound on an invisible unit, so that was kind of nice. I had a Void Raven bomber. I did not bring it in on turn 1. I brought it in on turn 2. Tried shooting at a Scout Titan. That wasn't really that effective because I think only 1 hit, and Titan was able to do a 4-up cover save. And during the 3rd turn, I just shot at some infantry units that had invisibility, didn't do anything to them. And then we actually had a 4th turn, and during the 4th turn I shot at a knight that had 2 wounds left, and I caused an explosion which took out both wounds. So yeah, that's pretty much it. There were 2 rules that came into question. Well, one rule came into question. I had a complaint that I wasn't able to resolve because I didn't see the action being taken when it happened. But we'll go into those 2 rules real quick because they're kind of legit, and maybe something that you didn't know. Alright, so we'll go on to the 2 rules in question.
So I just got Illustrator open up here just to kind of show the one of the questions that got brought up, and it was a legit question. question, and so it was a unit that had a lot of models to it. Got hit with a large blast plate, not large, but I think it was a 10-incher. And so, but the question was, is that so there was like this structure, a ruin of some sort that was covering all these guys from line of sight in the purple here, and only the guys in the blue here were visible as a target. So the blast marker, let's say like the opponent target that model, placed the blast marker above that model, and then rolled for drift, and or scatter, sorry, and the blast marker did scatter, moved in that direction, I believe, that covered more of the models. There was a lot of models in this unit. It was a big blob of Tau with drones and all that stuff. So it was a prime target to hit with a blast marker. So the more of the models got hit from behind the gray structure here. So the question was, though, is how do you resolve all the damage? Because the damage from the blast hit all the models. Well, basically, for the rule is that you resolve all the wounds. So when the plate does hit all these models, you do roll the wound for all those models, and then for each successful wound, say that you have, let's say like we got 6 wounds, and the person failed 4. So this one here, you still resolve the wounds closest model to the person targeting. So it'll be 1 wound there, 1 wound there, 1 wound here, and 1 wound there. So that's supposed to be how the damage is resolved. The damage is still resolved closest model, but blast markers can wound models out of line of sight. So yeah, that was a good question, and so we looked it up in the rule book and found out that it is possible to wound models outside of line of sight when using a blast marker. So like I said, this is a 10-inch blast marker, and then this is what your large blast would look like, hitting certain models. You see that, and then of course in our small blast, we cover about that area. So even if it was here, and then drifted this way and hit 4 models, and say 2 wounds occurred, well, this guy is actually closest to the shot, so he would be removed, and then this guy is the next closest one, and then he would be removed. So yeah, that's blast marker, and then we'll cut here, and then I'll go over the one that kind of made me a little upset. Alright, be right back. Alright guys, so this is the thing that I had to complain about in the game, and it's only because this one I'll always try to be on top of because it affects me a lot, is this little doohickey right here, the flame template. And so anyways, we had a Dread Knight with a flamer option, and came across during a shooting phase and did one of these dealies, and so the flame template went over the vehicle and then hit a bunch of Eldar that were up in the same ruin that was in question. And so yeah, my Raider got hit, no jink, has a no escape rule, which I think is a bunch of BS because it's open top. Why don't the guys like bail out of the vehicle, being that's open top? But regardless, that's the rules. So took, I think it was a regular flamer. It was anyways, I think I'll show down how many guys I had left afterwards. But so flame template was placed like in this manner because bunch of Eldar were up in the ruins, and then they got hit as well. And I kind of saw it, but then someone else was shooting me at the other side of the table, so I didn't get to watch to see how this was resolved. But when it came to me to do saves, they called me over. So scored I think it was only two. It was 3 hits. It was 3 hits, and I made one feel no pain. And the damage from the vehicle also exploded it. So it must have been a strength 5. So anyway, so the vehicle got exploded. When I got there, also after the template attack happened, all the Eldar that were up there were gone too. They were killed, or I think they were all killed, because the only thing that was left was a Bright Lance platform. And I had one of the upgrades and two blasters left. So after resolving all that, I said, well, who was the primary target? And the guy said the vehicle was. So right there I got a little miffed, because then if the vehicle was the primary target, there would have been no way that the Eldar would have got hit. I mean, not that I care that Eldar get burned. I mean, I'm a Dark Eldar player. I'm happy to see the Eldar get burned up. But for the fact of the situation, because I wanted to make sure that he wasn't going to be able to assault me if the Eldar were the actual target. That was my only reason to ask him. Because I said, who is your primary target? And then he said, the vehicle. So then when he said that, I was like, well, why the heck did they get hit, and why did they get killed? So, so my complaint is that with the flame template, if you target a vehicle, so I'm in a different layer here. When you target a vehicle, the rule states, even for torrent weapons, when you target a vehicle, you have to maximize the plate to hit as much of the vehicle. So even from where he was positioned, let me bring this plate up to the top. So even where he was positioned, it would be angled just slightly towards himself. But the flame template would cover pretty much the whole vehicle. Even if he was going from the center of his model, it would still pretty much cover most of my vehicle. Being that if the vehicle was the primary target, that's where the flamer would have hit. It still would have killed the 2 guys in my vehicle with the no escape rule, but the 3 Eldar that were hanging out up in the building with the Bright Lance cannon would have been just fine. They wouldn't have gotten hit at all. So that was my major miss there. And I think the player knew I was right, because the player never chose to assault my 3 models that were assaultable, because since he did blow the vehicle up during the shooting phase, he could assault them. But that didn't happen. Probably also because it was bigger. There were bigger opportune targets to go after. But yeah, that's my big myth right there, was the flame template. Just that if the vehicle was the primary target, these Eldar would not have been hit at all. They wouldn't have had to make saves, and they wouldn't have been killed. So that's pretty much it. All right. Thanks for watching.